but the explosions are cool. And when the ships explode, I like that. Welcome everyone to a video on Avorion. It's a little space game. Well, it's not so little actually. It's actually quite cool. You can see basically I've actually progressed quite a bit compared to the ship that I start with. This is actually a big change. You can basically build your ship in any shape you like. You equip it with power, batteries, guns, engines, thrusters, and you basically go round and progress and make your ship better and better, or steal stuff. If you want to be a pirate, you get a hull, a cargo hold, a hangar. For instance, if you have extra, you can have like fighter ships and stuff. You have a cargo hold you can make bigger. You get system upgrades, which give you certain different things and different updates for your ship. For instance, this here makes the cargo hold, you can see there, 586 bigger. It uses up 5.8 gigawatts of power. So then obviously you have to have your power sorted as well, which you go here. You can see I've got enough engine or power thingies, generators to produce 70 gigawatts. And you can manage all of these. It's still not finished yet, but obviously you can click and manage, where the power goes efficiently when that bit's done. You also see there's like a little invisible thing around my ship, which is a shield. And yeah, so basically the whole idea, I believe, is to get yourself better and better material, which means getting to the nearer the middle of the universe, which you can see here. We're about there. We started over here. I've got a sort of round and up, and there seems to be a barrier where I can't get through. I must have to do some types of missions, and the colors show your what's it called, your relationship with this this company, this group. And you can see there it's good. For instance, on that one down there, there's one here, for instance. I can't pronounce their name, but that syndicate there is very, very bad. So anytime I go into those sectors, I get attacked. So it's obviously, good to have good power, shields, and guns to protect yourself. There are constant uh, random signatures of, signal signatures popping up whenever you're in a sector. You can go around and you can mine if you prefer. You can go to these asteroids here, for instance. For instance, that one there gives you. Let's have a look. It's Xanion, which I have quite a bit anyway. And now, obviously, the higher the material, obviously you start off with iron, and then you can move up through the progress of all the different materials. But the Avorion is the highest and strongest material you can get. So, theory is eventually you make your ship out of the best armor, best blocks you can make, and obviously makes you stronger against all the enemies. Now, obviously, bearing in mind, the closer you get to the middle as well, the stronger the enemies get. So yeah, so it's actually quite fun. You can see here you need crew for each of your systems to work properly. For instance, you need gunners to manage your guns. If you don't have enough gunners, your guns don't fire. Same for the miners. Mechanics are needed to look after your ship, keep it repaired. Crewmen are just spare people that you might have, and obviously all these people need getting paid every turn. Sergeants, you need sergeants there. You can see you need one sergeant for every 10 employees. And then we got lieutenants, one lieutenant for every 4 sergeants, etc., etc. Now you can also have a captain, which basically means that if you are out of your ship, or if you have more than one ship, you can actually assign your ship and tell it to do stuff. For instance, we have a ship back here, which is down here at the moment, and you can see it's called Hunter 1. And what I had told it to do at the time when I left was to go mining. So because it's a reasonably good sector, got an excellent um, relationship with these people, Mao Empire. Um, it's relatively safe over there, but what you can do is you can get it to follow you. You could actually have a fleet of ships following you, as long as you have obviously a captain to fly it. So yeah, so basically you've got to go round, and obviously to be able to pay your crew, obviously you need to be able to make some money. Now I've been making money for a while. I've been playing the game now for, I would be guessing, I don't know, 50, 60 hours at most. And I've got a little bit of money there, but still isn't enough to actually sign a. You can actually find unclaimed asteroids, which are actually you turn into mines, which actually allow you to get even more money because they start trading with surrounding sectors. So yeah, so it's quite good like that. And obviously, when you get to a certain point with your ship, you can buy jump drives, which if you go into the block section and look in here, it starts off with iron, and as you move up, you've got titanium, um, and then you've got neonite. I think it's the neonite that gives you the. Let's have a look. Gives you the hyperspace core. There you go. So I couldn't actually build a hyperspace core until I had the ability to get neonite. The generators obviously produce power. Integrity field, you can see there, it gives him higher durability. But obviously, the bigger stuff you get, then you'll be basically building yourself a shield generator, which is there. It is there. So obviously, the more of those generators you have, the longer your shields can last. And obviously, the more shields you have, the more batteries you need, and energy containers, for instance, and generators, all that kind of stuff to keep your ship going. Now, I find that I started off with a big block basically, which is why my ship looks really, really funny. But then I added these hangars across the bottom here, stored ships. Um, there you go, look, picking up a short burst of subspace signals. And then I added some more generators and storage containers there to give me some more power. And what I did is I piled all my guns of varying type, which have normal control and AI control as well. You can see here, you can get them to auto fire. And if you assign those numbers down there to each of them, if I press 2, for instance, that means the guns assigned to position 2 are enabled now, so they will fire on enemies, or how I see fit that they should fire. Um, see there, situational or attack a target. So I can target something and they'll attack it, or I can just set them to auto fire. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll quickly have a look. Um, there we go. What we'll do is we'll quickly let's have a look. So that there, I the position to be just above to there. What we'll do is we'll wait for these signals to appear, and as I was saying, you can get hyperspace engines instead of having to jump. Depending on how far you can jump, depending on the spec of your ship, you can get hyperspace engines, which means that you can jump to anywhere. Obviously, with my upgrades, I can now jump anywhere inside that little that grid. And I was thinking of jumping to that area there, which is a distress signal. But what I might do is actually wait, see what these signals are that I've been hearing. So what we do is we can go to this place, for instance. All the friendly ones in the area have different areas. For instance, that there's an ore mine. This here is a resource depot. So if you actually had the money, if you look, press F, you can actually see the materials. You can actually buy materials that it has in stock for a certain price. Or if you've got lots of materials like we have here, in theory we can sell a lot of them. Actually make us quite a few credits. And then obviously it means you can buy other things, or you can use traders and buy better guns or upgrades for your ship. There, for instance, is a solar power plant. If we hit there, you can actually trade goods, buy energy cells from here for a certain price. And what you do is you find to see where there's a sector that needs energy cells that buys them for a higher price, and you can actually make money in trading as well. So what we'll do is we'll wait and see what these signals are, just so you can see hopefully a little bit of fighting, and then we'll go from there. We'll only turn on 1 and 2 at the moment because number 3 on my guns is pretty powerful, but it's a very close range weapons only. So I normally tend to turn that on once I'm close enough to actually use it, because it uses quite a lot of power. Also, sometimes what I do is I go to my systems, and while I'm not jumping, where is it there, I switch over for my shield boost upgrade. Let's have a look. Use a shield boost, yeah, that one. Legendary. Shield durability, 146% more. So switch that out. There we go. There are 3 pirate ships. Oh, look at this. And some alien ships as well. So what we'll do is we'll go for the pirate ships. You see the friendly ships here. There's a destroyer. There are 2 destroyers heading in. There's a salesman here. I think he's going to be attacked first. There you go. Look, the destroyer hitting one of those. If you click on them with the middle button, you can actually see in the bottom right the state of their shields and their hull and everything. And that destroyer is getting a pounding. Now there are 2 destroyers there handling those 3. What we might do is we'll go and help this guy out. So we'll pick one of these. Now 1 and 2 are on, so once we're within range, which one's closest? This guy's good. The only problem is we don't want to get into a position where we're shooting at our friendly ships. There. The explosions are cool, and when the ships explode, I like that. Now this is how you actually get most of your upgrades as well. You actually move up things, whatever they've dropped, or if you use a salvage gun on the ships, you can actually get more stuff off them. It's kind of finished. Now he's attacking me. shields seem to be holding out, so we didn't do too bad there at all. So yeah, so this is one of the ways, or one of the biggest ways I've been upgrading, is by managing to actually get to the point where I can now loot ships that I've destroyed. For instance, you can see that one over there has dropped a lot of ore, but you can get more ore off them anyway. So if you click on the ship itself, you can see there it has approximately 17,000 anion, including this stuff that's just been dropped. And then what I do is I turn on my salvaging guns, and I find his storage components, well, from my point of view, and I mine it. You have to be within a certain distance. There you go. I've got 600 there. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to it using the salvage gun, and you can see there that just dropped some more upgrades. And that actually looks like a gun. And this is where you can actually upgrade your weapons. If you get close enough, there you go. We picked up a gun of some type. And there looks like another upgrade. There we go. And obviously, depending on the size of your ship, is how many upgrades you can have. Yeah. Now, that's the kind of things that you can do. You can go around and you can start fights. In fact, I could actually be unfriendly with these guys if I cause a few more problems with my relations with them by basically shooting at them or their ships or attacking their own traders and stuff like that. But it depends who you like and who you want to be with, as a faction with or friendly with. Obviously it makes it easier to get through different sectors if you're friendly with them. The advantage of being friendly actually is when you've got to a point, well, when you're at the point where you don't have a hyperspace engines, you have to use these jump gates. And obviously this one's east southeast, so if we look at there, it'll take us that way to that unknown energy area there. And you can see there in the bottom right, that's going to cost 1135 credits to do. Now, when you don't have your hyperspace engines, you have to do that, and then obviously to do that, you need credits. So it saves you a lot of money by having the jump engines to do that, or you have to keep using these at the beginning until you're at the position where you can just buy your own engines, basically. There we go. There's another upgrade. There. So I just keep that quite short, just to give you an idea of what's going on. So hope you enjoy, and if you want to see more fighting and stuff like that, let me know. Thanks for watching.